Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to today's Caffeine for the Soul. And today's episode is part 2 of our Effortless Everything series. And if you want to join us for the Effortless Everything program, the URL is michaelneill.org/effortless everything. And if you're interested specifically in unfucking your relationship with money, which is the title of this week's episode, then you can learn more about the public program on unfucking your relationship with money at michaelneill.org/money. Now, why is this worth talking about? Well, I'm sort of assuming that for a lot of people, it's obvious why this is worth talking about, because their relationship with money is, and I'm going to be swearing a lot in this episode, by the way, in case you didn't guess by the title, but their relationship with money is kind of fucked. Like they're not friends, right? It's like, well, yeah, I mean, it's, I love it when I got it, but then I hate that I've got it. And then I resent that I don't have it and that other people have it, and that there's so much going on. It really is just like a volatile relationship. Or some people have no relationship. I want to pretend it's not even in my building, let alone in my apartment, let alone in my, and other people have a relationship that's just, toxic in forms of, oh, I just need so much of it and I just need it. And there's this neediness. And the reason that for me, it's a really worthwhile thing to spend time on, to explore, to see what you can see for yourself about it, is because in this world that we live in, your relationship with money is at the heart of your work. It's at the heart of a lot of what you do with your time. It's at the heart of where you live. It's at the heart of how you live. It permeates every area of your life. So you would think it would be a no-brainer to develop this really healthy relationship with money where the more time you spend together, the better it got, instead of the more time you spend together, the worse it gets. And one of the reasons that we have such a culturally toxic relationship with money, and you've got whatever relationship you've got, but culturally, we have a really toxic relationship with money because we don't really understand what it is. We think, even though we know it's not, but we still think, we act as though money is oxygen and we can't live without it. We act as though money is love and we crave it. We act as though money is power and we desire and fear it. We act as though money has power over us, and so we don't want to get in relationship with it. We think money is the root of all evil. Money is not the root of all evil. Evil is the root of all evil, and money is one of the things we blame it on. What money is as close to a pure expression of spirit and thought as I have seen exist in the universe. Now, I'm not going to just leave it there. Let me say more about what I mean. There is no money in nature. Money is man-made. Animals do not exchange money. One animal does not pay a fee at the watering hole to get to have a drink. It's not how nature works. So it is a creation of us, a creation of thought. But unlike many of the things that we create, its form changes all the time. So if you just go country to country, and if you live in Europe, you've probably gone country to country a lot. If you live in America, maybe less often. But you start to see, oh, the money I use here isn't, it's just pieces of paper there. And the money they use there is just a piece of paper there. And sometimes I actually went back to the UK recently because I lived for a long time in London, and I had British money, and they were like, oh, no, you can't use that because those pieces of paper are no longer the pieces of paper we use to represent a £5 note. You need this piece of paper. And there are some places where they will trade you pieces of paper so that you can use them. Like, that's how arbitrary and made up money is. Money is not a form. Money is a thought form. Money is a shared idea. Money is an agreement that if I give you this piece of paper, you agree that it has the value that I agree that it has. And as long as we're in agreement, we can create exchange. And I can trade my piece of paper for your cow. And you can trade your piece of paper for a holiday. And somebody else can trade their piece of paper for different pieces of paper. In other words, we've got a really fucked up relationship with something that only exists by agreement. But the reason that I say that it's kind of as close to spirit as you can get in form is because spirit is formless. Spirit is just energy. And the way it comes into form is a manifestation of it. We are manifestations of spirit in form. We are a formless intelligence in form. Money is a formless energy in form. And why wouldn't you want to embrace a formless intelligence, a formless energy in form? Why would you not want to have too much of it? Why would you think that there's only so much of it to go around? Why would you, and you can substitute your favorite or least favorite stories about what money is and what money does and what money makes people do and what a lack of money makes people do, and you can hate the story. You can hate the character of money in the story. But money itself is pure. Money itself, I think it was Khalil Gibran who said, money is work made visible. I remember writing in one of my early books that money is love made visible. It's the energy of life, the energy of love, loving what you do in form. Now, it isn't for everybody, but it could be, because it can be. It has no life of its own. We give life to money, and most of us give life to it like a Frankenstein monster, and then fear it, and then worry about it, and then see it run amok in the world and go, oh my God, what have I done? But what if you fell in love with money? What if you could fall so deeply in love with money, because the love of money is not the root of evil, that would be evil. What if you could fall so deeply in love with money that it couldn't help but fall back in love with you? That you had a wonderful relationship. There's one of my favorite stories about relationship is I've got some friends who used to be students of the enlightened Scottish mystic Sid Banks. And they were having marital issues at the time that they first met him, and the wife happened upon Sid in a coffee shop and kind of cornered him and said, Sid, can I talk to you about my marriage, about my relationship? They weren't married yet. And Sid said, sure. And she said, we get on each other's nerves and we drive each other crazy. And I don't want to leave, but I don't want to stay, and I don't know what to do. And Sid said to her, well, has it always been like that? And she said, no. When we were first together, we just enjoyed each other's company. When we were first together, I just thought his insecurities were cute, and he thought mine were too. When we were first together, we didn't even think about it. We just loved spending time together, and there was no sense that it had to do anything. It was just fun. And Sid said, do more of that. And she was not impressed with his advice. And she said, yeah, but Sid, what about how now every time he does something, it drives me crazy, and I get so upset and I get so angry and I want to change everything about him. And he said, how does that feel? And she said, it feels awful. And he said, do less of that. And she was so frustrated with this wise spiritual guru's advice that she stormed out of the coffee shop, and she said she got about a block before she realized, oh my God, I think he's right. I think it is that simple. That when I focus on the things that I love and enjoying the relationship, I have a wonderful relationship. And when I focus on what I don't like and try to change and fix the relationship, I kind of hate the relationship. And their relationship transformed from that moment forward. What if you transformed your relationship with money today? What if you decided to fall in love with money, or maybe fall back in love with money? What if those things that you do with money that bring you genuine joy and peace, what if you did more of those? And what if the stories you tell yourself about money and the things you do with money that drive you crazy, what if you did less of those? And I can tell you from experience what would happen is you would fall more deeply in love with money. You would unfuck your relationship with money. And you would begin to experience money as an expression of the joy and abundance of life instead of as an obstacle. Have fun, learn heaps, happy exploring, and I'll talk with you soon.